It's the little things like this that make me like doing this kind of work. We're making a website. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. So I guess we should just get into this. Oh, that looks so cool. That's what's about to happen. It's hacking time. Yeah, baby. We got it. We got it. So I don't have anything for my settings page figured out. The question I always come to when I do settings is, should I do them as a modal? And the answer is always, don't do them as a modal, you idiot. So this is going to start with panel. I'm settings. And then we're going to have it, make sure it goes to that nice fresh canvas of HTML here to destroy. I did send myself this email last night that had, I think, the fields in it. So the ones I had figured out were like show the person's email and change the email. And if we don't do an OAuth scheme, change the password. We could show the link codes. Those are the things that we're going to use to connect these people to various services, and maybe have the ability to roll or re-request linked codes. So if we have the settings panel, why don't we have a panel group? And then for each one of these things, we should probably figure out some input patterns for the email and change email. So this would just be a display, but maybe you could type into it to change it. And the password, you always need 2 for that. And then what we could do is just inline all the buttons. So panel group, we'll have an input group. Inside the panel group, current email input. And we'll put a little value in here because this is going to be preset. So we'll set this to Greg's awesome email at awesometime.chat. We'll have to draw that button in, but let's give this a little separation. Let's make the second input group, which is going to be change password. And this will have a little bit of a different approach. I'm doing these classes around the input container, so I have something to talk to if I need to. I have an immediate container to talk to that's not this thing. We'll do a little span next to it to say current password. We'll put another span saying next password, but we're going to block it out to the next input, because that way, if we have an error message on this input, we can push it up to this thing. The links. So we'll show your current links and then let you delink. I mean, is that a thing you should let people do? Let's think. What would be in that? So a link status. So for each service, you'd have a status of if it's linked or not. But this could blow out to more things. And are we going to do a table? Should we do a table? I mean, a table makes it a little bit easier. We don't need to do cells yet. Let me just start with like 4 and see if that's too many. So the first thing I think would be the name of the service. So that would be like Discord or Twitch or something like that. The linked account would be the thing that actually identified you there. So it might be an email address. It might be your chat name. It would be whatever we know is unique over there. So if some of these will have the ability to request and some will have the ability to reset. Once a code is consumed, you have to get a new one. So if the linked account has something in there, it's obviously a thing. Let's start with that and see if that's smart. Call that the header row. Let's just put a couple in here. You have Discord, and for me, that's like this weird little thing with a 4-digit code. We could have a little thing in here where it's a relink or a reset. Data token action equals reset. And when you get the new token, it will stick right there. That's where it gets a little funky. So maybe you have a request reset and then you have the token that you used. And for Discord, it will be consumed. So you'd have to request a new one. Now, let's say you haven't linked your Twitch yet. So it'll say you have a Twitch token available, but it's not linked. If your name is that, I hate you so much. Somebody's gonna submit a bug report. I don't know what it says it's linked, but I don't have a token. And then the token here is gonna actually be your Twitch token. So we can actually tell it to give us that Twitch token that we generated already. So that's Twitch. Now we have the early access token. This might be a subtable. Early access is gonna have its own little group. So maybe that's its own table. And you say there's a big early access table, actual service accounts, and then you have a separate one for this other thing. That's a little weird. Why does it say Twitch there? Or why does it not have the token? Oh, we didn't tell it to load one in. All right, so let's put another title in here. Early access accounts. So that would be name, linked account. Yep, same thing. Token. The token that was used doesn't matter. It's just gonna be the name and linked account here. And you're never going to really be able to unlink those, I don't think, because there'd be no reason to unlink them. But a little bit different about this one is we're going to need like the link code here. And that is probably going to be a micro table. Oh, geez. Why don't we just have your token here, and then we'll do a little something to reset it, and then give that the action of reset. So what that'll do is I'll give you a new one of these. So we should see, you see that jumbly code right there. We have this button though that will style in, and then when you smack that button, request a new token, and it goes. I probably could have prototyped this in Vue. That would have been a better choice, Greg. And the final one we have here is your actual account token. So the account token, it's a lot more private. So we're going to say this is a links token, but then we're going to use this class of hidden. I want to basically stick this thing inside of a box where you don't see that. That's all obfuscated. I think I actually know the way to do it. Can we do input password, right? Don't you just do this? You do like a value of blah, 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 and it will hide it, right? And then you can change that to a text and it pops it right back. Yep. Okay. So that's what you're toggling. Okay. So now we have to pass that value into this. For the purposes of the prototype, without rewriting a bunch of code, I am just going to copy paste whatever the hell that thing was that we generated and stick it in there. Get rid of that thing there. So it's hidden. When you click that, we'll come up with something really quick to do this, just so we can show the interaction. Call it data hideable. Then that will set some stuff here to let us put a button here. If it has this class, this will say view. And if it doesn't have this class, it will say hide or something. We could get fancy pants, put an icon in for that, but we're not going to. All right, yeah, that looks pretty close, huh? Just ship it out just like this. All right, let's start styling top to bottom. So let me have panel title. There's your settings. For some reason, I set this font stuff all to be this lighter color. I'm gonna go all white now. Let's do first group, which is gonna be panel group. Did I make multiple panel groups? Or did I just make one big one? Good job. Great. We could probably still do the plans I have. We're just gonna have to target it in a little bit differently. So we need a direct child selector. Let's try border bottom will tell us if that's it. Maybe. Yeah. So let's do less of that ugly red and more of this very slick half white. So let's get this little settings group done. For input groups, we could probably logically throw some padding around this, 25 pixels or so. Give it a little bit more. I'm being a generous god today. I'll be giving you that extra padding. So we have an input group title. Have we tried uppercasing that font yet? Is that how you do that? That is not how you do that, Greg. Oh, it's so gross. Don't do that. Don't uppercase enter. So we want to differentiate that as a title just a little bit. Let's start with some margin bottom to push it. What color could we make that? That's fun. That's like a fun color. Let's use that. Okay, let's get the buttons in next. I feel like changing your email is not something we should let people do. That's one of those, like, we need to send you the confirmation, you idiot. Like, why are you doing this? What is like a good update button color? Blue? You want to try blue? Okay. Yeah, we can try that. I used to have an action blue color. What project used action blue? It's somewhere in here. Is it the static? It'd probably be in the static. Let's just grab these little fellas right here. Oh, it's too blue. Isn't that just like too blue? So do that. Let's get the font size down on that thing just a little bit. It's like obnoxiously big. Just dial it in. Let's put up the font weight a little bit. I'm gonna try 700. If only this was a real variable font that I could dial the weight in. Cursor pointer. Let's make it happy to see you. And we could maybe change that color of the font just down to a transparent black. Why is that so weird? As soon as I do that, I just hate it. That's good enough. I mean, just a little highlight tells you can click it. Maybe right after the commit button, you would have the status. We could do one for success, one for failure. Let's say password incorrect or something like that. So post statuses, they should probably come push off that button. We'll go padding of, let's do 50 pixels. That's too many pixels. How about 20? And then we're gonna do a border of 1 pixel solid. Background color, we'll do transparentize the red. We'll do some things here to get, say, like if it says failure, if it says success. So let's change this now and say for failure, do this one. Boop. And for success, do the same thing, but now we're gonna color it in a little bit differently. say email updated or password incorrect. And now every time you go and you make a new request thing, we'll shift this, or we'll just empty it out and remove that failure class. Because the post status, if it's empty, we want to be able to clear that. So if it doesn't have the status of failure, look, it's just empty. What we do here is if it on failure, it gets padding, and on success, it gets padding. But without it, doesn't have either of those things. And the margin here, we'll just leave like that. And then we'll add it like to both of these. Now there's a reason I'm doing it like this, kind of weird. We could do this with a another class, but I think I can show you guys what this would look like, which is some quick JavaScript. So let's say we have post status there. Give me a thing to talk to here, please. I'll just add something to this. ID equals hook. Good enough. Just call it the ID of Huck. And I go to my console and I say, hey Huck, why don't you add the class of failure and then set your inner or set your HTML is fine to I broke stuff. Anyway, we should watch this animate in. It didn't. Dang it. I spelled it the wrong way. I keep doing that. My fingers. I gotta get my fingers back. So we should be able to just empty that out. And now we get a really easy, cheap animation. Oh, we have the padding set too. So we want the padding to 0. That's gonna actually help animate it. So now we got to get these inputs styled up. These ones are a little bit weird. I think we'll figure out what we're doing here. These guys, they could probably stack up. So let's start with the email input up there. And granted, all the inputs should kind of look the same. So we have input type passwords and input type emails inside of a class called input. So the reason I'm sticking it inside of a class called input is just so I have something to talk to. But I don't think we're going to style that input class. We're just going to use it to walk in. Oh, come on. All right, we are going to try to get a handle on that ugly input thing, but these are never fun to style. We're just going to override it first to say, hey, give me the worst possible thing here. The one thing I do know is give me better fonts, please. But yeah, what is that thing where it's just like it's asking for a width, but the width is not sufficient? I'm gonna have to look this stuff up, guys. We do not want this crap from 2013. Let me see if there's some styles we can look at. There's a lot of attributes. Okay. Is there one in here? Nothing. Nothing's jumping out. Now, I know there are some things we can do to kind of nullify it out. Does content editable have any problem that we're going to run? Probably right there. Can you do a content editable password? Okay. Yes, that's what content editable is. Thank you. So the thing I would be thinking here is to just knock out backgrounds. And now you're just dealing with this. And now you can say something like width 100%. Now you just have to redefine this a little bit. Oh, but it's going to screw you right here, isn't it? Because now you've got your stupid 100% width thing. All right, that's not the way. Width 100% would work. I'm just so confused. Like, why is the input type default length? Yeah, what is it? Oh my God. Why? I think we could write some JavaScript, I think, to resize this thing based on character count, but this is crazy town at this point. I'm just gonna hit that button that gets this thing done today. Look how good this is gonna look on your big ass monitor. Oh, I don't know. I can't let that be the thing. Maybe a max length or max width or something. Max width of, I don't know, 300 pixels. Is that gonna be? It does not even enough for that thing. Get bigger, box. So let's just see if Nick's got it. If you said, if this was a div, and we could just smack that out. Why Chrome, back the fuck up. Get out of here with your trying to save passwords. If you're using it, stop using it, because just like everything else they've ever done, Google's probably gonna shut that down someday. Okay, so that does that, but we'd still have to style around it. You can see that it's like going way out here. Well, I guess we'll just set some widths to those things and just move on. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the default input thing to not cut this stuff off. There's nothing weird added. It's just that inputs come in with a lot of defaults. It looks like I'll need something like this, which is gross, but that's okay. A simple but pixel perfect recommended. Oh, look at this. He's recommending jQuery. You're damn right you do. And since we have passwords, we can't really do this span version. All right. Well, let me just do this the dummy way. Just set a manual width and just deal with it. So if your email is longer than that, screw you. Get a shorter email. Order 4 picks. You're used to this happening. Let's make that look a little less like it does. Say background, color, whoa, boy. When we hover it, we'll give it a little bit of a, it's gonna brighten up. There we go. Get a little transition. I think the ease in out isn't the right one there. We'll do an ease out. There we go. And then when you tack into it, oh, so stupid. Why would it redline that? Why do you think I need spell checking on an input type email? Just hold it together. Okay, and so for focus, we'll do the same thing, so it'll hold. So you just click in and get that. The contrast is probably a little bit low, but probably fine. It looks about fine. So your current password, you'll type that in, and then your new password, you'll type this in, and then you'll hit this update button. Other than the width, I don't think there's a reason not to use those styles again. Then take the width off of this. Ooh. So for this input, why don't we say input flexy boy it, flex it, fix me flex daddy. That's probably not a thing that we should be saying too much with. Sorry. I just have this picture in my mind. I'm not going to illustrate the picture, but you can imagine what that picture could be. Oh boy, that's not. What happened? What happened to your friend, your curly friend? Let me just say this one more time. This is why we don't skip the design run. I guess this isn't the end of the world, but that's a little weird looking. Do we need the word password? Yeah, people are stupid. We need that word. All right, let me align that so it's a little more centered. Okay, and we could do a little bit more to this. Like we could say when you hover an input flex group, the span will pad in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, look at them dance. Look at them dance their little hearts out. And let's do a little transition on the span. So it just kind of slides over. Oh boy, that's really far apart though. Maybe we should just set a width. Let's just set a width. Yeah, let's do like a little bit more to say that you're editing this. Do like a color of, I like that yellow, but I just cannot get it to be working again. But there, it looks awesome. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So we've got our whole linked accounts table I need to work on. That's gonna be a big bear. All right. So the linked accounts is going to be, it's a table that contains all your stuff that you've already connected. So they all are in groups. I do want to pull this padding back up and give it to each of these things. I'm going to pull off the input group, and just so I can target in if I need to. So everything should move in nice and tight like that. So let's just start with the titles, I guess. We'll probably follow that pattern right there. I almost think that maybe we should let that color be like action color, and then here we'll just use informative color. Let's see, what would be our scheme? We have a pink, a yellow, a blue, a green. We have all these colors right here. An orange. Yeah, that yellow is pretty dope. But I think the first thing I want to do is just margin it down. I should probably look up what the hell the code is from the other CSS file we did. There are ways to do this that were smarter than what I'm doing right now, but we're doing it this way. I'm saving that clip. I'm taking that clip. I'm sticking that clip over here, and I'm going to visually copy it. So just for the row, we'll just tell that to be a table row. You are now a row. Congratulations. Well, also we need to do something here where we tell all of it to become table cells. The first layer down, you're a table. Let's make that header look a little bit better. So we're going to pop the font weight up. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing, because that has to be like that. There we go. Now we have the body rows. Boom. Just to give it a separation. Why don't we just say all the rows get that height? And we're going to push the font size down just a tiny bit. Stick a tall div below so we can see the table behind you. Oh, good idea. Thanks, man. Do you guys even want to see my camera? Should I just turn that off? Do you need to see me? All right, we're going to do, I don't know if we need this, but we're going to try a vertical align of middle. And then because we want to make this look a little bit better, I'm going to do this every other thing to select every other row and change the background color of it. We'll also want to pad in that left value there. I do want to change the tokens to be monospaced here and here. Oh geez, that little tiny anonymous protest doesn't look great. Now at this point, we could put the actions in there to replace that or whatever, but you will be presented with this on every screen you're on. So the request reset here, does that need to say request reset? So let's remove the words there, leave the empty column, and then we're gonna push a button in here that just says like request new. we'll do some logic here and say if there's anything that says data token action equals request, we are actually going to, I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if it will. I'm testing some stuff right now in my head. Can you build this all with a sudo so I don't have to mess with any buttons? Oh, baby. It looks like it. Let's start building it then. Okay, let's set the background color just to see where it's at right now in terms of how it's asking for space. Okay, so it's asking for complete and total vertical space, which is actually fine, I think. Like we'll see if we can pull it in a little bit. Now we got buttons. We're cooking. Now for those buttons, this is basically a general request that's going to shoot off to the server. Maybe what we could do is make that kind of light, like a very almost like a transparent version. Light, transparent, white. Yeah, just enough so it's there, but not enough so you're blown away by it. This is going to be the question. Can this also take a hover? I don't know. We've gone too far. Got it. So the event listener is a little bit higher. For the color, I'm not sure if I like the white colors because I want to separate this off of this. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, why not just put an actual thing in there that says request? That's a good question. That's a real good question. I think we probably should do that. I wonder too, can I get a listener onto a pseudo class? I don't know if we'd be able to because that's the pseudo classes get drawn in second. Okay, well, let's just make it easy then and just say div button token, and that can ask what, I just want to have one set of buttons basically. Let's see, button token, takne. The other place we have that little button token is gonna be here. That's gonna be right there, so you can re-roll that one. The account token, you can also re-roll, so I'm gonna do that too. This again won't undo anything you have out there if you request new ones or re-roll these things. It won't unlink anything. That way, although for these actions it's not a big deal, that way somebody couldn't like steal your identity there. Here the tokens get consumed, so it's not as big of a deal because they're just gone. I do almost think for these buttons they have a similar function as this, so we might try that color instead. Let's do that. Yeah, and then when you hover it, we'll let it go to be the full color and just see how that looks. Okay, on this one right here, you have a key that's right there. I almost want it to say like that's your key. Is that gonna have a value? Well, this one we just gotta plug in. Is that gonna have something that both of them will have? It does have the data token attribute. I just want it to have the thing where it says like this is your token. It's just gonna be like one more thing in this links code, I guess. Go to the other one. We should be able to do these both at the same time. That almost spelled Cyclop. You were so close, random text generator. So links code is probably going to be a little bit of a flexi boy. Probably want this to be brighter, like a brighter background color, but not that bright. All right, so now we have to wrestle this in a little bit because this is not how you want this to look. Justify content, we'll spread it out. And I got to figure this out again, but somebody had shown me how to do like packing on one side. Now what we want is this guy, we want it over here. That's called links token. Oh yeah, look at that. That's it. You just tell it to grow. You say get bigger. And it's oh yeah, I'll get bigger. So now we have that stuff moved into place. You have the ability to re-roll all the way over here, even though it's pretty far away. I think I'm comfortable with it being that far away because I don't want you guys hitting that button all the time. Although you could just keep smacking it. No rate limit, just smack away. Just go for it. Server will slowly go down. I'm hoping we can host this whole thing on a TI-83 calculator, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Let's work on this part of it first. Why is that in this on two different layers? Is that centered differently than this centered? I kind of want to make that colored like dark. That's so dark you can't see it. That's not what I wanted. And let's make this bigger for font size. Let me just start this first. That is something you may actually want to copy, so we can do that little copyable on it, or you can just select it. Screw it. All right, so we just need a little quick thing here to show the token. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a thing where if you put a little button here that lets you show this. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a listener here to toggle a class. Oh, data hideable is our thing. So if you click a span inside of a data hideable, then we will unclass hidden and do shown, which is going to do what here? Well, not only will we unclass that, we'll also change the input type inside the data hideable to text. Let's write that JavaScript first. Data hideable something hidden. man. Come on, give yourself some credit, buddy. You get that feeling where you just don't understand what things are happening anymore? That's what I'm having right now. Let's see. Maybe I screw something up here. Give that the red. Oh, come on. You're right there. Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm an idiot. Before. Oh, looks good. This is the worst. This is why web development sucks. All the damn independent nation states of DOM elements. So let's start messing around with this guy. Add important. Thanks, Tora. If it ain't working, you just add important until it starts working. Let's try that font family again with Anonymous Pro. Did that cut that off? You cut it off like a, what in the world is wrong with you? What is wrong? What in the world is wrong with you, inputs? Well, we could put the button underneath it. There's no reason not to. Screw it. We're doing 2 lines. Let's make that font size a little bit bigger. Oh, why are you running spell check on this? It's a password. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that waste of time. Maybe make that look a little bit different. I don't really know what to do with it. Smaller? Is smaller the way to go? How small can I make it? That small. I can still click it. I mean, it's not pretty, but it does the job. Let's do a little thing so when you hover it, maybe it lightens up. One day I'll get my typing back. Not today, though. That works. Just a little, I know that I'm doing something button. I think we could take a quick look and make sure we got this all right. We could definitely put a little more spacing between these guys because they kind of look like they're falling into each other. So if you're in the settings, you don't really have a way to see that you're in the settings other than the fact the giant thing that says you're in it. That's good. That's good. These, a little space would probably be good, or a little something. Oh, links code, and then we have links table of these things. So the links tables need to get a little more push. Maybe an HR to break them up. Yeah, I think so, Flyboy. But I'm gonna try to avoid using an HR. Let's see if we can do it with just some CSS. Say the first of type after nothing. Do you just display none? Maybe. Boom. There it goes. Gone from the first one. That's the CSS way. I mean, you're gonna write a little bit of weird stuff to pull it off, but now you're just like applying some logic. We have the earnings table to show you exactly how you can earn points. We have a settings page so you can change some of these pieces. Reroll your token. We can show that. Reroll it. You can see all the things that you're connected to. You can link up your Twitch. We have some toasts here that will, or flashes rather, that are going to show you what you need to do before you can start using our service. I think we're good. I think we've got it. See you guys later.